I want to talk about how to destroy a summer buck hotspot, because I talk about all the time that where they're at during the summer, large, basically large bachelor groups of mature bucks, they're probably not going to be in the fall. You know, just real quick, they need high overstory and shade. They need good airflow, away from the bugs down in the swampland, and then they need summer food. So a lot of times that summer food is not there during the fall. And then at the same time, they need a completely different type of cover. They need to be down in those swamps that are bug infested during the summertime. They need to be in the thick cover that's right over here in bedding areas that we made during the fall. But they can't live there during the summer because they crash their velvet in there. There's a pain associated with it. They just can't rip that velvet apart going through the cover that they would prefer in the fall during the summer. So bottom line is, we want to convert areas. It's interesting, this area right here, in 2020 when we bought the land and we were so excited to hunt it, we had some incredible pictures right in this area, and along this entire stretch. We have an area back here called Buck Corner. Dylan shares often a bachelor group of bucks that were just incredible. Some of our oldest bucks, and it was a big one. Dylan, I don't know, well, they're 10, 8?
Yeah, 8 probably.
Yeah, quite a few coming through. It was pretty cool. But bottom line is we were excited, we saw them, but then I thought at the same time, you know, dang it, if they're here during the summer, they're probably not during the fall. Now, one of those that happened to be the biggest one, Kermit, I ended up killing him. I killed him later in the fall. He was more of a homebody here. But bottom line is, we had the conditions here for open timber, summer food sources, no food plots. And so that all set up for summer food, open overstory and shade, perfect summer conditions. So we're trying to destroy that. We don't care where the deer are at during the summer around here. Bucks, does, doesn't really matter. In fact, I'd prefer, if you could draw it up perfectly, that all those deer would be on someone else's land in the summer, consuming all their forages, food, living there. And then for that, we have the perfect fall property. And then we invite those deer back in the fall, starting with their annual whitetail shift that I talk about, starting September and October. That's when you want those bucks start moving back on your property. And then a few does and fawns. We don't want the entire doe fawn family group system and herd out in this area on our property all summer, because then they'll just be here all fall. We want does and fawns here, but we want that balancing point where it allows us to get the most number of mature bucks. They're not displaced by a bunch of does. So bottom line, what have we done here? Well, right here, I'm standing in a 3/4 acre food plot expansion. I mean, heck, looking at it right now, it might even be an acre. It's a long ways over there, and then up to the top, you can see our old switchgrass silhouetted against the sky up there. That was the edge of the food plot before. And you see we're almost 35 yards below that, 40 yards to this edge. It's 100 yards to the end of this plot where we expanded it. I took an area that was somewhat mature. If you kind of look over here, you can get a flavor of what it used to be like. Down into here, you can see the trail down here. Pretty open for summertime. So bucks had the privilege of coming back here on a flat, air conditioned, all that wind coming off the fields. They could sit back here with some good airflow. We're up high, no bugs because it's not swampy, and they could just lazily live out their summer days in this location. Instead, we ripped it all up. You can see it's dirt right now. We have corn planted on the outside over here. This will be a green plot, but we're not planting it until August. I could care less about feeding the deer during the summertime. We don't need to. It doesn't help their health. It just hurts us more than helps us. And so, food right here, big dirt patch now where they used to bed. That'll give us more food in the fall. And then behind Dylan back here, I've spent a lot of time creating bedding area and cutting several tanks of chainsaw gas, but it didn't stop there. You go on the other side of the blade plot. That's where Tyler shot his buck, our hunt winner for our Camp Kicking Bear charity event that we host every year. On the other side of that power line over there, I've run several tanks of chainsaw gas, cutting a bedding area right there too. And that's another area they live during the summertime. There's a series of benches that go down. I completely turned that summertime bedding location into a fall and winter hotspot. In fact, that's where we found Barry sheds this year. Barry should be an incredible 6-year-old buck this year. He was an incredible 5-year-old last year. I'd really like to run into him. Going into the season, he's probably my #1 target buck. I really hope I get to see him. The bottom line is, fall bedding over there from summer bedding. Took summer bedding right here, converted it to fall bedding. Took summer bedding right here, converted it to a food plot. And then when we head this way, more food plot right up here in this edge right here, instead of just open field cover. And as we continue on, big patch of switchgrass, that allows us to hide movements. Another water hole about 400 yards away from here, another one 100 yards this side. We have rabbit huts around here. Cutting below Buck Corner, cutting right below it, cutting all the way down the bottom. So with a lot of cutting, we've converted what was primarily summer bedding habitat into fall. We've utilized open spaces, created more space so we could have more fall food. What does that do to our summer buck pictures? Makes them go down the tubes. If I didn't know any better, I'd look at it like, wow, you know, we're doing some bad things here. If you're taking cover and making major improvements to high quality fall food, high quality bedding cover, and you're doing it in the ways we talk about in this channel where you're still exercising a good amount of depth of cover, you're not accessing and spooking through those deer when you hunt in the fall, then when you lose bucks during the summer, you lose the visibility of those. You know, we have switchgrass on that power line right now. It used to be open, they could browse out there in the summertime. We've completely turned this 700-800 yard edge right here into all fall food, cover, switchgrass edging. And what does that equal? It means that by destroying good summer buck habitat, we're maximizing our entire property towards the fall. You build buck herds during the fall, you build deer herds during the fall. That's when you can actually help their health. You can give them great food before wintertime, great food when they get out of the wintertime. You give them a place with high quality browse all fall and winter, which is what they need during their bedding hours. Thick stem count cover, mold and shape the herd the way you want. You give yourself a lot of power and control. And that's when you know you're doing a good job. Think about destroying your best summer buck habitat so you produce exceptional fall and winter buck habitat, which helps your overall herd. And oh, by the way, it helps you have a great hunt this fall because we're not hunting these in the summertime. So really important to focus on the fall. And if you do it right, you'll find that you might not see a lot of bucks during the summer, and that's A-OK because your property and your hunt will be graded by what happens in October, November, December, January, and not the rest of the year. Hey folks, I really appreciate you watching, and I want to invite you to check out our main website, whitetailhabitatsolutions.com. I'm going to miss all these, but we have seed to offer, hats, articles, web classes, books, consultations, and even a new podcast. I think we have 17 podcasts out there right now for you to listen to. So we have a lot to offer. Most of all, if you don't want to buy anything, I'm going to keep offering free videos, free articles. We have over 600 articles on the site. And most of all, thank you very much for watching, reading, listening, being a part of Whitetail Habitat Solutions. If you want to check this stuff out, awesome. Links are in the description.